The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-445-1044. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good afternoon from TFNN. Welcome to the February 19th, the terrific Tuesday edition of today's Trader's Edge Show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day. How about we have an extraordinary one? And the easiest way to do that, it's to always remember that life is happening for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, it means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Today, you and I, we get to go check on the circumstance of these markets. We get to go figure out what the bulls and the bears, what the buyers and the sellers are communicating to you and I just past 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I want you to know that I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here, but most importantly, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to pick up that phone, dial on in 877-927-6648. If you can't dial in, let those fingers do the walking. You can always send me an email, steve@tfnn.com. Inside the subject heading, please put radio show question. Of course, let's go ahead and get to it. This is, of course, Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to Lush Show. Right now, the Dow up 11 points, trade out at 25,895. S&P's up 4, NASDAQ 100 up 14. So it's green across the board, including the spot volatility index, which is up 10 pennies out there. Gold is mean and green. Trade out at 1343. That's up 21 buckaroonies, 1 6/10%. You got the silver contract up 21 cents, 1 3/10%. Pretty much look at the left-hand side of my screen, and bonds are up, crude oil's up, natural gas is up, everything is up. What's up? If you take a look at what's leading the charge, the upside, you've got Amazon up $18, Booking Holdings up 10, no big deal there. Intercept Pharmaceuticals up 8, that's 7%. Creighton Corp up 23%. Arista Networks up 2.5%. Middle Buy Corp, that's leading the charge to the downside. MIDD, that's down nearly 8%, a little over $10. Sage Therapeutics is off over 5%. That's $9 to the downside. Unite Group, UNIT, the unit, it's down 39%. Yikes! That's a stinger out there. Hey, let's go to our first request, which came in over the long weekend out there. So good to be back with you, although I prefer a 5-day weekend. I think that'd be nice. But the first request was if we could take a look at the IYT. This is for Sylvia. And if we take a look at IYT, I'm just simply going to give you my take on what the charts are communicating to you and I. So here's what we know as we speak right now. Sylvia and everybody else, take a look at the IYT. And what I'm referring to is 3 different time frames. Daily, that's the left-hand panel of our screen, clearly bullish. Bullish because price is above resistance. The resistance is 184.76. You're trading at 191.46. How do you know that's resistance? Well, it's the top of a resistance area, which was marked by its TAS market profile. We can see that that market profile was bearish in structure. So when price closed above it, that was on the trading day of February the 11th, and then gapped higher on February 12th. Boy, that was a strong message because nothing more bullish than a failed bearish pattern. So this says it wants to head higher to where? If we only utilize just this tool that identifies support and resistance for us, we would say the target for IYT is now 194.71. That is the top of its bearish structured weekly profile, 194.71. If we take a look at the monthly chart, price is trading within the profile. Its next likely target is the center line of the box, 195.86. Sylvia, if you're asking Stevos on here, where's price headed to? Our target as we speak right now, utilizing these three charts, is between 194.71 and 195.86. Let's just simply call it 195. That's where price appears to be headed to. If we take a look at Stevie's other set of tools out here, and we look at another level where price would be headed to, you're going to see a green solid line going across my screen. And that's at the gap to the downside. So we know that gaps are our friends, both bullish or bearish. This would be a bearish one because price had gapped to the downside on December the 5th. The high of that is 194.30. So it's not exactly 195. The bottom of the gap, that would be the session prior, and the low of that session, 195.16. We've got really unanimity. That's not even a word. If it is, I mispronounced it. But let's just call it a unanimous decision. TKO, that price wants to head to that 195 level. Now, I know that you would ask me to take a look at the constituents inside there, and I'll just look at one, which is the largest one, because sometimes the constituents, the holdings, the largest holding inside of IYT is American Tower. AMT is the ticker symbol. And so if we take a look at it, there's nothing bearish here. That could change. Today, tomorrow, the next day. Well, Steve, how can you say that based on what you just said? Well, we're taking a look at AMT individually, and it has a different set of information that we would look at. And in this case here, what we know is a couple of things. First, price is moving higher, doing less relative energy. Not a problem, only a problem if you get a bearish reversal signal. The candle's red today, Steve-O. Isn't that bearish? And the answer is, of course not. You need to see an actual bearish reversal candle. That just tells us where price opened and where price is trading as we speak right now. Not bearish. Today looks like it's going to be a TD setup 8 count of the 9 count. We know the top's going to occur in this case, and we know that today is a higher high than it was on Friday. We know that tops can occur, or bottoms, in this case here it's with price moving higher, with this setup count on days 8, 9, or 10 out there. So just as be on the lookout doesn't mean that there's going to be an actual top, because there's 3 different outcomes out here. And if we take a look at American Tower, we can see that it formed that last 9 count on January 17th. Actually went higher the following day on January 18th. Typically, you're going to see one of 3 things take place: a hiccup, a sideways move, or an actual turn. Well, as we take a look at this, what you and I have, just you and I, we've got Stevie's red line, which is green, tells us our price oscillator is above 0. It is a hidden level of support or resistance. In this case here, support. And we can see that this was just the hiccup version of that setup 9 count as price came back, tested, and continued moving higher. In fact, it did it twice for us. It did it on January 31st when it formed that number 9 count, the power of 9. What did price do? It's like any other type of topping or bottoming signal. In this case here, let's talk topping signal. You have to look and say, where is support on that specific time frame chart? In this case here, it was Stevie's green line. Price pulled back accordingly, found support. That's what it was supposed to do. Support never failed. That's why the IYT, or in this case here, AMT, American Tower, continues to move higher. Sylvia, thanks so much for writing in. Hope that helps you out. We're looking at 195 as the next likely price target for IYT. We'll be right back.
The TAS Profile Scanner is the most revolutionary piece of trading software that you will ever try. Wouldn't you like to approach the markets with confidence? As you begin your trading day, it's likely that you'll be faced with lots of decisions. In order to make the best decision, the first thing you'll need is a strategy that will help you minimize your risks. Whether we're in a bull or bear market, a good strategy is to have the tools needed to help you scan and analyze the markets before you trade. The TAS Profile Scanner instantly scans and filters over 2,500 global financial markets, such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Headed by Steve Dahl, president of TAS Market Profile, the TAS Profile Scanner understands that in today's technological world, the use of top-flight software applications, automated trading algorithms, and technical analysis expertise is essential to successful trading in today's market. Whether you're looking at the trade matrix, the ETF heat grid, the market breadth, the landscape charts, or the many other features of the TAS Profile Scanner, this is a piece of software that will revolutionize how you look at the markets and set up your trades. The team at TAS has even put together a 12-part video series to walk you through every aspect of the TAS Profile Scanner, which you can find directly on the TAS order page at TFNN.com. Sign up now for only $97 a month with a risk-free 30-day trial, so you have nothing to lose and everything to gain. See for yourself how you can harness the full power of the TAS Profile Scanner by visiting the front page of TFNN.com today, and you'll find the TAS Profile Scanner under the Services section. Remember, with a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to lose. Don't let another day pass you by without trying out this amazing piece of software that will revolutionize how you look at the market and how you place trades. Sign up today.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN has launched our brand new website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, but when you do, you'll see a new and improved homepage with a much simpler navigation, whether you're watching TigerTV live in high definition or just accessing your newsletter subscriptions. We even have new pricing in 6 months and yearly options. Check out the new TFNN.com now and experience all the upgrades. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Welcome back, folks. So we've got a question that came in inside the Tiger's Den regarding First Majestic Silver Corp. And the question basically says, AG, that's a ticker symbol, by the way, has blown through the 611 area. Where is the larger target? Now, if you're watching us on Tiger TV, you're going to see a yellow horizontal line on my screen. And that yellow horizontal line on my screen is a resistance level. That happens to be the low from the trading session of August 10th. The price point there is 645. The reason why that is a resistance level is, one, because you had that gap to the downside. So that was the way that sellers were communicating to you. Gaps are our friends because they communicate to us. And that was on the trading session of August 13th. This had gapped down with a little over 8 million shares. Today, it's 1:19 in the afternoon. It's got 4.3 million shares to the upside. It's moving higher. It's doing it with some accelerated volume. However, what it's doing is trading into some downdrafty areas out here. I'm not saying this is going to close below 645. What I am going to say is if it did close below 645 today, it has not blown through resistance. It may have blown through $6.11, but it has not blown through resistance. So be on the lookout, be watching to see whether it's buyers or sellers that are flexing their muscles out here. Now, if price closes over 645, old resistance should become new support. That means any pullbacks should find support at 645. If it doesn't, then really the message there is, hey, false break, topside, so to speak, out here. And really, it would just set up the consolidation pattern. Let's go with the assumption. So we know there's resistance. Price is trading above resistance right now. We're going to assume that price is going to close above that. So the question was, where is price headed to? Well, what I do when I look at this, if it worked before, which it did, by the way. If you take a look at that gap to the downside, you can see resistance out here on October 15th. You can see that shooting star. Really, in all honesty, it is that high, which is 649. That price needs to close above to say that there's any kind of breakout above a resistance zone, certainly with regard to a Japanese candlestick. So instead of using a yellow line out there, let's see if Stevie can find a red line. I don't know what I can find. Here we go. A red line, just to decorate the chart, so those folks that are looking at home are paying attention to it. It kind of covers up the 640. 649 is the number, really, that price should close above today. That says 649. Let me give you the right number. Yeah, 649. We're at 656. That's your real resistance zone. If price does close above that, then what you and I can do is just simply go take a look at the other gap to the downside with volume, and that was on the trading session of July 17, 2018, 7.8 million shares to the downside. So I would say that price would be targeting 741 to 729 area, as long as price closes over 649 in Majestic, First Majestic Silver Corp. That's what the daily time frame chart shows us. The weekly, because it's just the beginning of the week, here's the bearish side or the consolidation side of First Majestic, and that would be that price on the weekly basis, come Friday, closed below the top of its profile. That's $6.50. Kind of get, we're just slightly above resistance out here. I don't know what the end of the day session on a monthly basis, what price has done today. It's hit that point of control, that center level, which is really 667. Our actual high today is 664. So for 3 pennies, we're pretty darn close to it. Now, the monthly chart for First Majestic has a bearish structured market profile. So the upside target would be 754 and a continued move higher above these resistance levels. So you got 754, you got 741, you've got 729. Those would be the targets that I would be looking for in First Majestic. And the beauty is, you know where resistance is. So you can go ahead and make that assessment depending on today's close, tomorrow's close, and so forth. I hope that helps you out with regard to what we're looking at for First Majestic. Stop turning. So I was referring to myself, saying, in any event, I don't need to tell you what I just did because I corrected it. Peak D in the Tigers Den wants to take a look at ticker symbol NVTA. NVTA is Invite Corp. Nah, I'm sure that I absolutely blew that. Invite. Help me out there, even though I can't hear you. Just somebody yell it, scream it, so I catch it in my ear. Let's just go with the ticker symbol. INVITAE is the name of the company. And the question is, would I buy it? Doesn't matter, laughing out loud. Yeah, well, it does matter when you're the guy that's pronouncing it, and somebody back there on the other side of this little camera is saying, how'd you come up with that name? In any event, I came up with it. Let's go take a look at where this thing, would I buy it now is the question. The answer is, well, from this, looking at this first chart, I wouldn't. Would I expect it to go higher? I would. If we take a look at the trading, where it's trading into from a swing point standpoint, it's trading into September 18th. Now, when I say trading into it, I mean trading into it, trading above the low. Well, not so fast. So now we got the quick not so fast. 1641 peak is a real key number. This is a daily time frame. You're trading at 1639. So it's tested. So far it's rejected. It's not the end of the day. This is a daily chart. So you and I have got to come back to this in essence at about 4 p.m. or so. But the candle session that is trading into has volume of 3.3 million shares. And today, this is trading up into it with 878,000 shares. Now, this is nothing more than picture a pole vaulter. Pole vaulter. Or somebody thought I said Paul Volcker. I got to come up with a better metaphor, I think. Okay? But just picture that guy. We know that, or gal, we know that the first time up here, into this swing point, which, by the way, measures from 1641 to 1838, so a pretty good move out there. But when it was trying to take on that level, and it found resistance up there for some reason, I don't know what it is just yet, it struggled. And now you're coming in there with even less energy out here. So would I buy this today? The answer is I would not. Now that does not mean, and if, by the way, if it closes about 1641, does with light volume, doesn't mean that it can't go test the high, which is 1831. So then you'd have to make a reward risk trade out here. If I take a look at, let me look at the other chart, and we're just looking at a daily time frame chart out here, the other tools, see what we see. What do we see? I don't see anything bearish as we speak just yet, because Peak D was one who asked we should go see what the wave count is out there. And I guess one wave count could get us to F, and the other one would get us to, so it's either a 6, either in 6 or 2 out here. But do I see anything else that shows up on the daily time frame chart out here? I don't. Now, when it was making its high out here, it was doing so with that Rhodes momentum indicator signal out here, which took place on September 20th. Went ahead and gave you the confirming signal of a top. It really did that on the trading day of September 26th when we saw that first close below Stevie's green line out there. So, hey, could head higher. It's trading into a swing point with light volume. I got to believe, Peak, that you can find, yes, I said could also be B. It also would be more likely B, but to be or not to be, that's the question. And with regard to this equity, I say not to be, not today. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back. I'm certain you are or strive to be one of the best at everything you do in life. It's the most common trait that we tigers and tigresses share. If you're looking to become the best of the best when it comes to managing your money, let me teach you to do what most wealth managers tell you can't be done, which is how to time the markets. I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability, and for the last 12 months, Timer Digest has been tracking my newsletter signals, which have earned me the ranking as their #1 market timer in the nation for the S&P 500 for the last 12, 6, and 3 months. Timer Digest also ranks me as the #1 market timer for gold as well. The fact is, markets can be timed, and I'll teach you the exact set of tools that I use that has transformed me into one of the best at what I do. Sign up for Mastering Probability today by clicking on the newsletter tab on the homepage of TFNN.com and get immediate access to workshops where I take you step by step how to use an extraordinary set of tools as well as provide great market calls too. Sign up today.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find the Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now. TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. We've got about 5 requests right now, so which is great. You can keep sending them in. Let's go ahead and get right to those. And the next one that was up also from Peak D wanting to know if AT&T could possibly resurrect itself, meaning that I guess that it's dead. But let's take a look, Peak. I want us to just start and take a look at the monthly time frame chart out here and see what we can see. And we can see that when it made its high, well, maybe you can't see it, but I'll go ahead and make a change to that. I mean, you can, but why don't I make the the numbers a little larger for you? You can see when AT&T made its high, which is not what you asked, which was back in July of 2016 out here. It did it with that Tom DeMark set up 9-count pattern. It made that high on count number 8. Comes down all the way down here to the low in December. As we take a look at the counts down there, there's nothing here to indicate that there's a bottom, is there? So good question on the resurrection. But there's more, I think. Well, I don't know if there is, but we can't stop there. We got to do our little wave count to the downside. Maybe Peak knows something he just didn't, and maybe it's a trick question. But if we take a look at the move off of that high, what we'll see is that the low in December was wave letter G, or number 7. And that can be a sign of a change in trend. I know, not a trick, but I got to have a little bit of fun. You know, I'm basically sitting here talking to myself. If I can't have fun or make fun of myself out there, then, you know, hey. But, Pete, here's a good thing, and you asked. It did make that 7th wave move. You know what I mean? So it made that 7th wave move. So we got to say, okay, yeah, there's something there to the possibility of a bottom. Now, let's just fast forward to the noisy chart, the daily time frame. What do we see out here? Well, we do see that price was also moving lower, doing less relative energy back on December 26, gaps to the upside on December 28th. That was really your buy signal, really confirmed itself on December 31st when price closed above Stevie's red line at that stage. So kind of choppy behavior. We can see the bulls out here continue to try to protect the push lower. You got a hammer candle that showed up on the trading day of February the 7th out here. So it most certainly is trying to identify a bottom. Now, what happened out here, which is kind of interesting, is that the green and red line, we've seen a couple of changes here. So we're really in this little rocky sideways-ish type of move out here. You know, consolidation oriented. So if you're looking to get into AT&T at this stage here, you've got to expect that this is not a one-way move by any stretch. A lot of agitation, a lot of resistance. There's certainly some support out here, and probably more of a longer-term holding. If you're going to ask me, where's the better buy? Where is the better buy on AT&T right now? Boy, that's a toughie. Why'd you ask that question? Never ask a question, you know, that you don't already know the answer to. So we would say $29.95 is one possibility. That would be the aggressive trader. Trading into the the February 7th candle would be nicer, I suppose, because that would be that hammer candle, and that's a swing point. You could be watching volume there. And the reason why this is kind of cautious, so let's just reframe this. The monthly chart says this is likely formed a bottom. Price is below support. That means it's got resistance overhead at 31.05. You're at 30.45. Doesn't mean it can't overtake it, but it's there. The weekly time frame, resistance at 31.57 out here. Again, price is below support. The daily basis says, hey, I'm doing everything I can to move higher. So I would just simply have to say, I've looked at AT&T for you. You didn't tell me whether you wanted to be long, short, or what have you. This one is, I don't know what your time frame holding might be out there, but here's what I'm saying just to sum it up in AT&T. Longer term, this does look like this thing had formed a bottom. Hope that helps you out. The next question that came in was with regard to the Nugget. NUGT is the ticker symbol. So if we take a look at where that is trading, where just simply from a profile standpoint that might be headed to, nice day today, gap to the upside, takes out resistance of a bearish structured profile, assuming there's a close above 21.34, and that says, okay, price is headed to 25.97. Now, you might say to yourself, how'd you come up with that number so quick? Hey, are you just pulling stuff out of thin air? I caught you there. No, I'm not. 25.97 happens to be the bottom of that monthly profile, which has been resistance for many, many, many months out here. That's the NUGT. Now, because it's a triple out there, really probably better to look at GDX to understand that assessment, or maybe the HUI or the XAU or something like that, but that wasn't what was asked. Instead, we can take a look at the swing point that's been taken out, which was January 31, 13 million shares. You're at 11 million shares already today. So this says, hey, you've got an A to B equals CD to the upside, or you should have an A to B equals CD to the upside. Is there anything that can get in the way on that? By the way, that price point projection, 2503, 2669, that's what it looks like to me when we take a look at the NUGT. Now, is there any problem out here? Well, that's a great question. With regard to NUGT, there is a potential problem. We know that when instruments, that's the word I was looking for, make highs or lows, it's never the first high, it's never the first low. It's the follow-up high and or low that can create that bottom or that top if you just take a look at the Rhodes Momentum Indicator set of tools out here. And when you start stretching yourself, as NUGT has, SDV system draws those diagonal lines, just as it did at the bottom out here. So don't get ahead of yourself. Don't anybody get ahead of yourself. When NUGT made its low, it did it on the trade day of September 12th. It really did it on the following day when you got that bullish reversal signal, that three-river morning star. We don't have a bearish reversal signal. We just have a weatherman. I'm the weatherman at this stage here saying just be careful. Could begin to rain. And so, yeah, confirmed A to B equals CD to the upside. Yes, just go ahead and make sure you have your umbrella with you. Now, that's what Nugget looks like. Just for the heck of it, let's go take a look at the GDX, and that way we aren't dealing with and specifically the monthly chart. See how the monthly chart out here? Remember, we looked at Nugget and we're like, hey, price hazing is below the set of profiles out there. Well, a whole different story when we take a look at GDX, right? So to a certain extent, in charting, and you're taking a look at, the doubles and the triples out there, you really got to know what's going on in the singles. Okay, well, what's going on the singles out here is really the same kind of pattern in the GDX. Price moving higher, doing less relative energy as well. So just as a cautionary sign, looks good, looks really good, but that caution sign is out. It's like, they're still driving around the track like a Daytona 500, only the yellow flag is out. They're still driving pretty quickly out there. They're slowing down. It's like 100 miles an hour or something along those lines out there, just so cars don't fall over on those big bank curves out there. So that's what I see when I take a look at AT&T, when I take a look at Nugget. We get back from this breakout here. We'll go see what other requests we have, because we know we have a few of them. CJ writes in, he wants to take a look at Walmart, and Earl the Pearl wants to take a look at, not sure what he wants to look at, but we'll look at that. And then we got Great Panther, GPL, that just coming in. So Dow's up 970, S&P's up 4, and we'll be right back.
Hi folks, this is Tom O'Brien. If you'd like to be the bank and get the type of interest they receive instead of the low interest rates they give to clients, then I have an investment you may want to take a look at. I'm offering 4-year secured first mortgages on buildable city lots in St. Petersburg, Florida. The investment can be anywhere from $30,000 to $75,000 per buildable city lot. The interest paid is 7% per year, paid monthly. Depending on the investment, the income per month per lot ranged from $175 for a $30,000 investment to $437.50 for a $75,000 investment. If you are in the CD market, you want to look at this investment. St. Petersburg is located in Pinellas County, which is the densest county in Florida. If you're looking for an investment with your principal intact that pays a good interest rate, this may be for you. The supply is limited, so act now. For more information on these secured first mortgage opportunities, you can call me at 877-518-9190. That's 877-518-9190.
If you haven't checked out the newsletters page of TFNN.com, what are you waiting for? All of the TFNN newsletters are informative, up-to-date, affordable, and a must-have for every trader looking to gain a competitive informational edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets to offer you the very latest in market news. Plus, new subscribers get to test drive our newsletters risk-free for 30 days. From all aspects of the markets, including stocks, bonds, metals, commodities, and tech, there's a newsletter to fit your needs exclusively from TFNN. Stay informed each day you trade and get that competitive edge that will help you stay ahead of the game. Visit our newsletters page by going to TFNN.com and click the newsletters button near the top of the page. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Directions Daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. So Charles writes in, says, "Hi, Steve. Hi, Charles. Love your show. I bought Walmart at 78 over a year ago. Walmart is trading at, what is Walmart trading at right now? WMT. Whoops, not WMY. So bought it at 78, trading at 103. Kudos to you. It is doing well lately, above 103 today. What do you see as a good selling price out here?" So you bought it at 78. Here's the daily. Well, let me do this. Let me flip over this chart. You bought it at 78. First question I would always ask is, well, what was your outcome when you got into the equity? You know, what? Just like to understand that the trading plan at that stage here. If you're asking me, we just take a look at a daily chart. Where's this thing likely headed to? The very first place that each of us should always look at are the prior swing points out there. So that's 106.21 is a number. It's 109.98. Now, price doesn't have to get up there, but those become our price targets out here. Certainly, if we take a look at just your old A to B equals CD, your price projection analysis, what you and I would look at, Charles, we'd look at the trading session from January 23rd, 8.4 million shares. And Friday, you saw it close over there with 9 million shares. Today, you're at 14 million shares. So this says in A to B equals CD world, not a daily time frame chart, we can take a look at a price projection out here that would take us into the price level. Just the 1-to-1 is up at that 106.68. Remember, 106.21 was a swing point. Seems like price is headed there. Now, whenever you come into a D point, that's really what the price projection of 106.68 is. If you're coming in with a wide-ranging bar, and you're coming in with a lot of volume, chances are you're going to go to the next A to B equals CD level. Well, that gives you 110.37. That is right at that 109.98-ish area. So I would just watch volume as price moves into those areas. Back at the swing point high on January 29th, 2018, it was about 8 million shares. So if price is coming in with similar volume, more volume, that's going to go ahead and give you an indication as to where Walmart is likely headed to. If we look at the monthly chart out here, the actual high is 109.98. Volume there was 169 million shares. Last time price tried to get in there was 191 million shares. Moving in with volume, that was the month of November 2018. Yet never was able to go tackle the high. So don't get completely caught up into the volume schmolium thing out there. I'm just making fun of it because you know, just got to watch for other patterns. As we speak right now, and we take a look at Walmart, everything looks great. Price above resistance of the weekly, of the monthly, of the daily. Confirmed A to B equals CD to the upside patterns out there. Is this a trade? Is this a longer-term hold? I don't know the answer to that, Charles, but you've got the price targets there. And if that was a part of your entry strategy when you got in was to sell it as about as high as you could get to it, I would be watching 106 to the 110-ish area out there. I absolutely hope that that helps you out. Thanks so much for writing in. The next question that came in, this is coming in from Earl the Pearl. Earl says, hello, Steve. So hello, Earl. If today stays flat, does that give you any signals out here? So it's a great question. By flat, I don't know which indice it is that Earl is taking a look at out here, but a great question. We're not flat right now. But let's answer the question. No. Flat doesn't do it. If it closes down by one tick, that's a different story. Now, you might look at me, or you might listen to me, say, what the heck are you talking about? What's the difference between flat and down one tick, or 1 penny, or 1 pip, or one whatever it might be out here? Well, in the case of the ES Mini, as an example, I'm just going to start with the ES Mini out here. Here's what it would potentially be, to be or not to be. Today could be a key reversal session out there. Because you see, in the case of the ES Mini, the high, the previous high has been surpassed, the previous low has been surpassed intraday. And if you had just one tick, in this case here, that'd be 0.25, you would have a key reversal session. Come in an extended condition at an A to B equals CD level of the 1 to 1.618. It would be a signal different than a confirmation. All right, the confirmation, at a minimum, you got to get below Stevie's green line level. That's 27.51. And I would say, quite frankly, you have to get below 27.37. That's quite a bit further to the downside, right? That's 50 points. You'd say, you mean you need 50 points of downside movement to tell you that there's a top? Well, no, I'm not saying I do. I'm saying we do. There is not an I or it, we do. Because otherwise price would just be pulling back and testing a support level. So, of course, intraday, time frame, so on and so forth, just depends on your time frame horizon out there. But flat doesn't work. And have we exceeded the high in all of the equity futures contracts out here? I don't know the answer. Have we gone on to a new higher high in the NQ? We have not. But you still could have a key reversal session. It's just not a higher high versus 2 days ago. So a negative session, because we've exceeded the prior session out there, high and low. We haven't done that in the YM, in the Dow Equity Futures contract. Earl, that could be a signal, but I think you would want to see other levels of support fail. Or at a minimum, and I'll just give you the ES Mini number, at a minimum, you'd need to see the ES Mini close below 27.77, the old one-arm bandit. The NQ below 70.73. Right now, that's been support out here. So, yeah, it could give you a signal. Thanks for writing in. I hope that that helps to answer your question. The next question that did come in is coming in from the golf guy. And a smaller silver at 86 plus 0.06 is GPL. So, question. Does it generally resemble AG? Okay, that I just reviewed. So, GPL. So, Great Panther out here. So, the question is, hey, if we look at AG, First Majestic, can we just use that information? That's what I'm going to paraphrase here. Can we use that information to tell us about Great Panther Silver? And my answer is going to be, no, I don't think so. Could easily be different patterns out here. And so let's just take a look at the Great Panther. And we should do it really on both charts if we can. As we take a look at Great Panther, again, looks good, looks beautiful. passing a prior swing point, which was February 5th, had 589,000 shares with 923. Everything is looking good. Everything is looking like you've got confirmed A to B equals CD patterns to the upside out here. And I'm not saying that you don't, because you do. I'm just saying that when we take a look at the other set of tools out here, and by the way, the one-to-one price projection is 94 cents. That's your one-to-one. 1-to-1.272 is a buckaroonie. A buckaroonie takes you all the way back into the trading highs from September in 2018. To me, it looks like that is the price target out there. You're above resistance on the daily. You're above it on the weekly. The monthly says 90 cents out here. So 90 cents is going to be the key. And you're at 86 right now, and the actual intra-session high has been 87 cents. And on a monthly basis, a close above that monthly profile would be bullish. I was going to say very bullish, but it would be bullish out there. We haven't seen a close above monthly profile in a long time. Look at GPL. Price is moving higher, doing less relative energy out there. It's a cautionary sign only. Just a cautionary sign, one we should pay attention to. So Golf Guy, thanks for writing in. Hope that helps you out in taking a look at the Great Panther Silver. We'll be right back.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com. No matter what kind of trader you are, 2018 is a great time to try out a subscription to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report. Whether you just plan on diversifying your portfolio with some exposure to gold and gold mining equities, or you're a gold bull that sees 2018 as the year of commodities, now is a great time to sign up for the Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his Gold Report every Monday morning before the market opens and covers a variety of topics including gold, silver, platinum, copper, the XAU and HUI, the dollar, bonds, South African rand, as well as more than 20 of the most actively traded mining equities. Start your 2018 off with a bang and sign up for the Gold Report today. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. For all the details and to start your subscription right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find the Gold Report under Investment Newsletters. Nico DeHaan and Paige Clark have launched a special for a limited time only. Save 25% off Primal Edge and Health Signals. Just use promo code HEALTH for Health Signals or use promo code PRIMAL for Primal Edge and save 25% off instantly when you sign up. All the details are available on each order page at TFNN. Certified personal trainer Nico DeHaan's newsletter Health Signals comes out twice a month and is packed with great information on health, fitness, and diet. Primal Edge is specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox, and contains a special blend of ionic soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form. This sale won't last long. Sign up now using promo code HEALTH for Health Signals or PRIMAL for Primal Edge and save 25%. For all the details, visit the front page of TFNN.com right now.
This is David White. Stay tuned because coming up next is the Power Trading Hour right here on TFNN.
Welcome back, folks. So a couple questions still to be gotten to. First, this one coming from Bill, and the question is, hey, where is it that I think gold is headed to? And what we have out here, this is Stevie's synthetic version of the contract, so we can go ahead and connect all of the contracts together. You got gold trading at 1343. Bill, I just run a trend line, a simple trend line from the highs back in July of 2016. I would use that high. I would use the high out here from January 22nd. That's going to run also into the swing point from the week of April 9th out there. And those are the yellow diagonal lines on my screen. You can see the rising trend lines. You can see the descending trend line. And that is likely where gold is headed to. What's the exact price? I don't know. Depends on when it might get there. If it were to get there this week, as an example, that price level is right around 1372 is what we would call it. So that's what I see. I know you're taking a look at a swing point that was in the 13. Actually, I don't remember, and that's off my screen right now. 1370 is the number I'd be looking for. The next question that came in, this one from Mike. Mike is looking at ticker symbol ACB. I don't know what it is. It doesn't matter. But is it looking to turn higher after 9 days of downward movement since February 4th? Swing point went long at 734. I don't see I see a Rhodes momentum indicator top out here and a Tom DeMark setup count that took place on February 5th and the 6th. If I start doing my counts to the downside, today could be day number 7 of that count. We know that tops or bottoms can form on day 8, 9, or 10. It's possible that you are early out here. I don't see a bottom signal. I see resistance, which is Stevie's green line out here. Right now, that's at 736. I see real support or potential support, when I say real support, at the low of January 25th. That's that red horizontal line that is on my screen. So, Michael, that's what I see when I take a look at ticker symbol ACB. How about that, folks? We got to everything, and that's the way that it should be. Speaking of everything, give everything you can to my favorite polar bear, David White. He's up next. After David, you've got Tom O'Brien, 3 to 5. It is Terrific Tuesday, not Marvelous Monday, and I'll see you on Wonderful Wednesday. Thanks so much for being here. Take care.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.